Welcome back to the Gold Newsletter channel and welcome back to the floor of the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference. My name is Kai Hoffmann. I'm the @JR Mining guy on Twitter and the CEO of the SOAR Financial Group. Really appreciate you joining us here for another company update. I'm joined yet again by Brad Rourke, old friend of the channel, of course. It's good to see you again, Brad.
Yeah.
And welcome on the floor.
Oh, thanks for having me, Kai. Good to see you, and we're still at it, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
You've
absolutely.
got lots going on for you, and that's why we're doing this update as well, because the company just announced the financing just last week, I think, as well.
Thursday morning, yeah.
Morning.
So a couple of market days ago. Yeah.
Absolutely. We got some drill results to talk about as well, so it's not boring. You guys really hitting it hard in early 2024. Let's start with the drill results, I think, because let's call them historic, because they were from 2023.
Right, yeah.
Let's talk about those results. Almost 8 grams over 13 meters was one of the highlight holes there from the Blueberry contact zone.
Yeah.
Run us through those results. What do they mean for the company?
Sure. It's great hole, over 100 gram meters, working with other 100 gram meter holes, but we're really just proving up that Blueberry contact zone, and I mean the hits just keep coming, so it's good. We're happy. But yeah, when you look at it in context, it's a great hole, but when you look across that whole strike length and how they're all fitting together, so we're pleased, and you know, there's a deposit there, and then so we'll just have to keep at it until somebody else recognizes it. But yeah, it's a really good hole, and I think that was my 38th 100 gram meter hole.
No, you're bragging.
Yeah.
Showing off now, Brad. But, there's some remaining holes as well. Remind us how many holes are still pending, where are they from, like how can we put them in context when they come out?
Okay, so I think I have probably another couple news releases to come. I believe one more at the Blueberry. And then at the end, we'll just kind of wrap up with, it's not as exciting, but that stockwork zone where we're kind of hunting a porphyry type looking thing, and some Scottie gold results, and so we'll wrap that up here in the next couple of weeks for the 2023 season, and now it's time to 2023's off. We're a big meeting last night with all the board, and what are we going to do for 2024 is the kind of everybody here wants to know. Don't care about what you did yesterday.
That was my next question
as
well, right?
Okay, so, yeah.
Absolutely. Like, what is the plan for 2024? But I think we got to talk about the financing first before we talk 2024, because that'll put a bit of perspective around possible activities this year.
Sure. So we ran our treasury dry in 2023. We only raised just $6.5 million and got 20,000 meters in, but we knew we were going to spend all that money, and we got a lot of work done for a short amount of money. So we just announced $5 million. One individual, I can say Ross Beatty took half of it, which is really, really, we're very pleased to have that kind of endorsement, and with some of the others, bigger investors. But right now, I've almost got it completed, all existing shareholders. So that's who I went first. So I'm about 70% complete.
Oh, you
still
started the financing process last week,
That's right. Yeah, Thursday.
We're talking on a Monday. So.
That's right. And so, yeah, again, I just try and give it, because there's a half warrant. I'm pretty cheap with warrants historically, but so far, yeah, I'm just
run us through the terms. Since you mentioned there's a warrant.
It's 18 cents with a half warrant, good for 3 years at 28 cents. So, it's. I don't like giving out warrants when their warrants are great if you're hunting for something, but we obviously have something. But the environment we're in, we got to entice people. Look at how many companies are here trying to raise money today, right?
You have to peacock a little bit.
Tough business. Right? You got to make it, and because I'm okay diluting or adding more shares if it's existing shareholders, because we're all in it together, and it seems to be working so far. And I'll close her off here in the next couple of days, I think. But yeah, it's my shareholders are supporting me, which I'm very appreciative of.
Absolutely,
gratitude.
So absolutely. No, fantastic. So with the $5 million, it's not as much as you raised last year, obviously. So we have to talk about plans for this year. How are you planning to use the proceeds?
Okay, so yeah, $5 million. I mean, we've gotten to a point where 3 years ago, $5 million was would be a huge raise for me, but for what we've gotten, what we're doing, it's probably not enough. But what $5 million does for me, allows me to do a program. If the market doesn't turn, we're safe, and I can still do a meaningful program. But I am working on other things, and it's no secret. I mean, I'm royalty free, so I've been trying to negotiate maybe something else, and so we'll just see what happens here. So the market will determine what we do, but this 5 makes us safe. We don't owe anybody any money. We can still do something, but we are looking at other partners and see if, to put I would love to do 20, 30,000 meters this year, and we have the drill target screaming for it, but it's just a matter of the market now. Right? I mean, where do you go? But we'll see what happens here in the future. Just working on a few situations, whether they happen or not, who knows? But
yeah, we've talked about resource as well, or resource development, or not development, putting a resource together.
Yep.
Perhaps at the end of this year, run us a bit through that line of thinking right now.
So we are in a position now that we could drill off a resource, or we feel very comfortable. I'm a week away or 2 weeks away. I have an independent consulting group going, I just need to know how many meters is it going to take so I can budget for it. We've been sitting around the table throwing the football around, and it looks interesting to me because it's probably less than I thought. We're in the position I could put together a resource, and we would never drill a resource unless it was 1 million. Yeah. Okay, so we're there, we're comfortable, we can get there. I don't think anyone's going to argue that everyone could kind of see 1 million ounces easily, and we have analysts saying 3, which I'm just going, I would never ever say that, and that would take a lot of drilling. So we're in the position to do it. I'm not saying I'm doing it right now, but it'd be financing, and but if that's what the market wants, we could put 1 million on the board, a very high grade. But the problem for me is we've got a lot of sophisticated investors. They're not so worried about a resource, but the market out there, maybe is that one of the milestones I have to meet? Maybe, but we could put 1 million on the board and still go exploring because we haven't found the ends of Blueberry and quite frankly C and D, right? And that's right. So I think we've been in the game long enough that we have that ability, and we'll make those decisions as soon as I get those final numbers, and then talk to my biggest shareholder. I mean, there's 4 guys that own under 10%. There's a whole host of us that own 5. So it's easy for me to feel what the people who's supporting us what they want to do, and but we're in the position we could do it. We'll just make that decision when I get this report back from Moose Mountain, I think, is the consulting group. Yeah.
Run us a bit through the timelines as well, because I know you're in the Golden Triangle. You can't really work year-round unless you blow your brains out financially.
Yeah.
And then you could do it, obviously, but it doesn't make a whole lot of economic sense. But run us a bit through the timelines. When do you need to make decisions to hire the drill crew and all of that? So, because the reason I'm asking, run us a bit through the timeline of when can we expect a plan announcement, budget announcements, and things like that, because at some point you'll have to make a decision and book the teams.
2-3 weeks. I need to know way before PDAC, and we'll come out and we'll do a promotional video or what be it and go, okay, here's what 2024 is. Again, I need that report back to go, is it a resource? And then really kind of just wade myself through exactly how much money we have. Yes, we'll close this 5 million, that's great. Maybe I go underground at Scottie, maybe I, do something that's meaningful, but if I can pull across the line what we're working on, but we're just weeks away, 3 weeks away, I think. And because you just can't make a decision in May and find the right people. I mean, crew's a very, very important part of your operations, and, hard to find guys. So I need to know right away.
Since you mentioned hard to find guys, I was going to ask you, because Roundup is happening in parallel to the VRIC as well today. What's the availability? How much competition do you have this year? What do you expect?
Well, it's easier because there's a lot less money for other companies there. So, we've actually are looking for, if we can upgrade. We've got a fantastic team. It'll be easier this year for getting a team together, because I just think there's going to be a lot less drill holes in the industry, just because money's hard to come by for us and a lot of other companies. But you got to get them today, even though, and I suspect, I've lived my whole life 25 years of my adult life I've lived in the area. There's no snow this year, which is, it's abnormal. So I was talking to Thomas going, well, gosh, we might be able to get in sight in May, right? Just because unless some massive snow comes for the next 3 months, it's the least I've seen in ever. And I used to run an avalanche program in the area. I do know the area well, so not much snow, and that site's okay. It's where the avalanches come across the road, and you got to clear those. But it's going to be an easier year, so maybe we start earlier. I'll figure out the money here in the next 3 weeks, and I just don't know if I'm doing 5,000 or 30,000 meters at the moment, but next couple weeks.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Brett. again, thank you so much for joining us here on the floor. Fantastic update as always. We'll catch up in 2-3 weeks, I guess.
Yeah, no, for
talk
sure.
about the plans for 2024.
Wonderful.
So in a bit more detail.
Thanks, Guy.
Everybody, we do the handshake? We do the handshake. Let's do the handshake.
Yeah.
Everybody else, thank you so much for tuning in here from the floor of the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference. Make sure to hit up Brad if you're interested in the financing. He can't say it, I can. I can promote his financing. I'm considering maybe taking some as well. So here it is on record. And make sure to hit that like and subscribe button as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back with lots more.